Hey folks, happy Tuesday to you. We continue our FUMCC Pastors Devotional. We're using our devotional book here. You can pick one up at any of our social distanced communion services or in the lobby of the office. Also, if you don't have a digital version, we post each morning on our Facebook page the reading for the day. So today, Tuesday, December 15th, reading John chapter 1, verse 14. Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. Let me read that again. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. So in the devotional, it has a sort of a synopsis of each verse. So in this one, it says God's new address. The Word became flesh and tabernacle among us. Now that's a weird thing to think of. Tabernacle, usually we think of the place in the temple, but essentially what that is saying is the Word became flesh, and the place of God, the tabernacle is the place of God's presence. So remember, in the Old Testament, they build the temple, and there's a tabernacle, which is this ornate kind of box, and that goes in a particular place in the temple. And it's in there that the presence of God is. That's where the presence of God is. So when you say to tabernacle among us, you wouldn't really use it in that way often, but it means that's where the presence of God was. Now, in the Old Testament, they believed at times that the presence of God was up in the heavens somewhere out there. And that's evidenced by, Moses goes up on top of Mount Sinai. You go into the top of the highest mountain in order to meet with God, because that's where you're closest to God, because God lives up in the heavens somewhere. Then remember, as the people were nomadic folks through the desert, wandering through the desert, at one point there was a called a tent of meeting. So it was sort of like the church, the temple that they would unroll, and that's where they believed worship happened. And there was a pillar of fire by night, and a pillar of a cloud by day, and that's where the Spirit of God was sort of contained in that place. Then later, the Spirit of God was contained in the temple, in the back recesses of the temple. That's where the Spirit of God was. And now with Jesus, the Spirit of God, the very presence of God, the place where God lives is going to be in Jesus, and he's going to give that to his followers in their baptism, and it's going to spread from person to person until eventually we come to believe that God is amongst us. So that's where this begins. Old Testament, way out there, up on the highest mountain, is the closest I can get. Now, in my heart. Huge transition over thousands of years, but this is the understanding of God. All right. I hope that's helpful to you. Readings for this day. So part of a hymn from Angels from the Realms of Glory. Shepherds in the field abiding, watching o'er their flocks at night. God with man is now residing. Yonder shines the infant light. Come and worship, worship Christ, the newborn King. And a prayer. O thou whose glorious yet contracted light, wrapped in night's mantle, stole into a manger, since my dark soul and brutish is thy right, to my of all breasts be not thou a stranger. Furnish and deck my soul, that thou mayest have a better lodging than a rack or grave. Oh, that's some ancient English right there. Interesting prayer. So that's our devotional. God bless you. Have a great day.